From the signalsaz.com studio, it's the best, worst podcast you've ever heard. And now, the Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty and Prescott Tire Pros and Automotive Service.
What do you want to do, Ronnie? Huh? Are we on?
Are we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
let's start. We sit here and we just run this recording, and then we start when we're ready to start. It's another great episode of the Ronnie and Bo Show, and we got a special guest. We'll introduce our special guest in just a second. All right, Ronnie? Is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
So what's going on? The Ronnie and Bo Show is brought to you by Prescott Tire Pros and Automotive. Prescott Tire Pros and Automotive, 1635 West Iron Springs Road. They're across from Waters Garden. Louis Gomez and his wife, Angel Gomez. They're wonderful. As a matter of fact, my wife had now we have a real a topical testimonial for Prescott Tire Pros. Woke up on Saturday.
Yeah.
The car in the garage had a flat tire.
Yeah.
We pumped it up just enough to get over there. We drove it over there. And
they fixed it.
Yep. They sold us new tires. So there you go. So it's working. Huh?
That's great.
There you go.
See, they'll do the same thing. They can help you out. It doesn't really matter what I got to tell you right now, someone's borrowing my headphones, our special guest.
Uh-huh.
And what you have left for me
there's no foam on the end.
Is some sort of anal probe that aliens use.
The rubber part is missing on that tip is what you're trying to say.
It's pretty brutal.
All right.
And this end I can barely hear. It's a whole different experience. I like it much better when I can not hear.
And that was placed perfectly. I appreciate adding that. Thank you very much. And our other sponsor is Prescott Realty. And we're so fortunate because Jon Rocha from Prescott Realty is here with us.
Woo!
He's our special guest.
Here I am. John? Hello, world.
Yes,
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, we're just thrilled to that you'll come in and laugh with us. And we'll talk a little business too, but hopefully we'll have some fun and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm all for fun.
And thank you in person, seriously, for being the first sponsor and a loyal sponsor of what Ronnie and Bo are doing. We really appreciate it and couldn't do it without you and Lorinda and the gang. And I'm being serious. There's no setup and no punchline there.
It's our privilege to do so, honestly. We know you guys personally. We love you guys. You guys are great, and you're doing a great thing, so we wanted to back that.
And you can call John right here or Lorinda or the office at 928
499-8700 for what we always say, a no-commitment free consultation.
That's right.
And that's true.
Ask questions.
And it's fun. We like to joke and do the little cut downs and stuff like that. But you just said that's right. I mean, if someone calls you and asks you a question, you're not going to corner them. You're not going to pressure them. You know, you'll say, hey, who am I talking to? You know, I mean, how can I help you?
Right.
Because you know that you don't have to hammer them there. Because you want a relationship to grow, I would assume, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't want to. I think the biggest offer we can really offer anybody, not even a client that we represent currently, is just the opportunity to pick our brains, know what their options are, plan ahead, feel prepared. You know, in the world of internet, there's a lot of information out there. And then people think that that's kind of the gold, but the gold is deciphering the information and then how it relates that to you.
That's true.
And so for us, if you think about it, you call a lawyer up, you call a tax attorney or a CPA or whatever, they're clocking your time, man. I mean, it's like, I know that because I pay the bills, you know, so when I call my CPA or something, I mean, the time starts and she'll send me an invoice. For us, it's not. It's free.
Yeah.
You know, so call us.
That's a great point.
And you did this, Bo, personally, but you were smart enough to go, look, this is maybe something I might want to do or not do personally. What do you think? Am I missing something? There's so much wisdom to do so.
Yeah.
And so, it's a free offer. I mean, we're here to help people. Ultimately, we're really here for, real estate truly is walls and windows and doors.
Right.
I mean, right? So we're not in the business of walls, windows, and doors. We don't serve buildings. We serve people.
Right.
So
relationships.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
it's very, for us, it's very, very meaningful that people would even come to us and say, can you help us? Sure. We'll do our best.
That's awesome.
They have a website, PrescottRealty.com. They are really solid folks, and they'll help you. They've been in the Prescott area since 1991, so you really know. That's an advantage too, right?
Yes.
You guys have been doing it so long. You guys really know the ins and the outs and all the cracks on the sidewalk, so to speak, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So very knowledgeable.
Yep, that's good.
So
that's
thanks
good.
to
we'll
Prescott
get
Realty.
more in the ins and outs of the real estate biz here in just a minute. But I've got a buzzword for you, Bo Woods, brought to you by signalsaz.com. we have today's buzzword.
So, John, wait a minute. The buzzword is a word that we talk about, and then we define it, and then he forces me to use it later in the. Well, you listen to these things, so you understand. So sorry, I had to explain that to you. So no, he and I have to use it.
You
so,
do your thing.
So like I pick some from him. I'll say lilac or something, or or austere or something, and then we'll define those buzzwords, and then he'll have to, and then he picks a couple for me. So go ahead. What do you got?
All right.
What do you got today? The buzzword brought to you by signalsaz.com.
The buzzword is pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Yeah, I just had one of those.
You get them at Starbucks?
Okay, so this is revenge. This is revenge. Revenge buzzword.
Revenge buzzword.
Well, because I don't remember. A few days ago, we did an episode with a buzzword with some hippopotam
monstrosus quipedaloalfia.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
They are. And it was
the fear of long words.
Long words. Yeah, that's right. And so when you said that day,
he thought it was the fear of hippopotamuses. That's who I'm working with here.
Well, I'm a simpleton. This word is a word that my dad, way back in high school, he told me. And when you said that hippopotamus thing, then this is the first thing I thought of was pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. See, I don't even need to look at it. That's how I'm brilliant.
It is scary. Actually.
It's really
he really didn't look at it.
Right.
It's really taking the funny out of this podcast.
And I think we even, to honor Jon Rocha, we got a pronunciation online with a little bit of Hispanic flair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some Latin-ness.
Had to go there, huh?
Yeah.
Might know her or him.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
I think it's a him.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. Okay, here we go.
Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
No, I don't either, now that I hear it.
I think that was very bad
Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
I think he really wishes he was
Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
You know what?
Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Not only does that guy not sound Hispanic, he sounds like a white bald guy. Did you hear how he pronounced that? I think so.
Yeah, there was nothing Latin about that at all.
Okay, what is the word? What does
really
it mean?
Try to look for it.
So
it means sunny. The definition is sunny, bright.
No, this is a lung disease that you get from breathing volcanic ash.
Wow.
Are we going to have to pause right here and restart another episode from the beginning?
No.
Let's keep going.
This is the best one we've ever had. That was your buzzword, brought to you by signalsaz.com.
Okay, I'm gonna, since he's our guest, I'm gonna let him rework it into the into the podcast later.
Right.
No pressure, John.
That's good.
No pressure.
That's good. So, John, how long have you been doing real estate?
Stand up.
So I just started today. So I've been here actively licensed now for going on 4 years.
Yeah.
My dad did real estate, so he kind of did it for himself as an investor. Yeah. So I've seen him do it, for a long time, and he stubbornly so. I never wanted to go that route because I was like, that's my dad's route. I'm gonna go and carve my own path,
be my own man,
whatever.
Right.
But I learned a ton from him. I mean, he started in California buying kind of rental properties here and there to buying 250-unit apartment complexes in San Antonio and Texas, California. Yeah. So I seen it, it really was just the stubbornness in me to just say, that's my dad's thing.
Right.
But I still took all the knowledge. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
What part of California did you grow up in?
Southern California mostly.
Yep.
Whittier, California.
Okay.
Is probably where I spend most of my days at least I can remember.
Yep.
And then prior to that, I know that you guys have your two truths, one lie game coming up here.
Yeah,
but part of
well, then don't give too much away.
Okay, well then I'll just shut up then.
No, go ahead.
You're giving me the death stare right now. People can't see it, but
go ahead.
It's kind of intimidating.
No, I was just saying, if you're going to tell a story and then 10 minutes later you're going to incorporate that into two truths and a lie, then we might figure it out.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you groom your beard?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking I almost feel like it's intentional that you kind of let it do its thing naturally, and then it's kind of an intimidation factor for you. You know what I mean?
It will shapeshift during during the episode if you watch.
It smiles up or frowns down or
really
gets mad.
Yeah.
You want to touch it? You want to pull it?
Yeah. But anyway, Southern California, Whittier, most of the part of my
nice.
adolescence, and then before that, actually in really rougher neighborhoods, like in East Los Angeles and stuff like that.
And how did you get here?
I came out here in 2007.
Because of your parents or because of you? Or
no, I came out here to attend Embry-Riddle.
Oh, great.
Yep.
And that's I didn't know that about John. Did you know that about John?
I
You
actually did not know that.
Really?
That's what brought me out here. I have no family here besides my in-laws and my wife and
That's
my kids now and stuff. Yeah, but
That's really cool.
Man.
That's cool.
just kind of just plop myself right in here.
That is neat.
10 years ago.
And
That's
then
good.
John and I met through church because when I got here, you were on staff in the youth ministry
Yep.
at our church, and then you were pursuing the real estate stuff and getting all that going, and then and now you're doing that full time. But then you're still with us. You lead worship at Heights often. You just did
Love it.
yesterday.
Yep.
Man,
How'd you like
you're
that?
a
I love it,
Renaissance
man.
How'd you like
man.
that new stage they have?
It's awesome.
Pretty neat, isn't
It's
it?
pretty neat. Yeah.
So
I didn't even get to see it yet.
No, I know you were away this weekend, and I think they debuted it this weekend.
It was pretty cool.
You know, for
not
people,
and it's not fully finished yet. I mean, obviously lobby stuff, some stage things, some pieces were still back ordered, but it's exciting.
you know,
it's
I made a mistake, and I made a mistake last night or yesterday.
I'm shocked.
Well, you know, you just always, and you really learn. I learned a lesson this time.
Yeah.
But you know, you're always trying to just do the one line, right? Let's just be the smart aleck. Let's just do the. I'll wait till you're done, then I'll talk.
Oh yeah, I heard about it.
Oh, you did, didn't
Yeah.
you? You know what I'm talking
From
about.
John Challenor.
There you go. He did
yeah.
hear about it. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's
So-
infiltrating the church now. As far as
It's
just-
a cancer.
yeah.
Am I not going to be invited
It's
back?
a rumor fest, is what it is. now.
Oh man, no. So the church is going through. You're scaring me. So the church is going through this. What do you call it? Remodel.
Yeah.
And they knock the anyways, and so they're putting in this stage, and they're gonna knock the wall out and build it deeper, and so you know okay. I don't know how to get to it. See, and that's why I didn't do 30 minutes at the Elks because I can't get to a point of a story. Do you want this at the Ronnie and Bo show at the Elks the other day? And then now, ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie with the more clear and concise jokes.
I gotta put my other anal probe in the other ear.
Don't say that.
This is like Wrath of Khan when he stuck that little
They're
roach that crawled
I
into his
can't help
eardrum,
it.
and
I can't help it if you're gonna grab the iPod things without the little rubber things at the end.
fist
So-
driven down into my
so
ear.
anyways-
It's like the earplugs you win at like Peter Piper Pizza
Yeah,
in one of those little
exactly.
vending
That's what we
machines.
got. Yeah,
With
that's
the
right.
claw thing.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
and so anyways, so you guys are going through lots of stress, right? I mean, obviously, right? Lots of stress. You're going with designers. You're going, but stress on all levels.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, they said, hey, at the end of the month, we're going to be there, and there's stress when you make those announcements, and you do it week after week after week, and then finally it's coming, and it comes in, and it looks fantastic, and the room is filled with what is
Haze.
it? Haze, fog machine or something like that, right?
we have a hazer now. I
Yeah,
didn't
we have,
know
and
that.
so
Okay.
I instead of going to my seat, I walk up before 10 minutes before I go up to John and Pastor Mike, and I said, "Hey guys, can I just interrupt real quick?" I said, "Man, this looks fantastic. I think something's on fire." I'm just why? Because you're trying to be the
Right.
jerk and you're
Yeah.
trying to be the whatever.
Yeah.
And then John says, "Yeah, it's the barbecue smoke from the building next door coming in," trying to diffuse the dumb remark. And I sit down, and then the service starts. John comes out, leads the group with the music, does an incredible job, and then Pastor John is on, and he has to explain everything.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that was a brilliant tactic, Don't just say, "Hey, here's our new room." Explain it to them. Get people involved. Draw their attention to
Okay.
it. And he said, This is why we have the screen this big, and this is the 15-degree angle, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And he says, "I know there's a lot of guys. We got a lot of comments,
Yeah.
One guy came up to me this morning and said, 'Is the place on fire?' And he said, 'The reason you have the fog and the reason you have it is because it reflects off the light, and it makes a big area look more conducive, intimate, and smaller.'"
Yeah.
And I knew that from concert days and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And he was, it wasn't a dig, but and it just, it just taught me a lesson. Don't go in there and just try to be the smart aleck all the time.
Yeah.
Go in there and say, "I don't realize this, but I know you've spent hours and weeks and months stressing over this,
Right.
and doing all this and working with people."
Yeah.
To the late hours, and I come in and I minimize it with some stupid comment.
Yeah, how dare you?
I know, and as a matter of fact, that was the that was the beginning of our podcast, and that's our mission here at this. No, I'm joking. But anyways, I got off track and I got serious. But boy, I really felt bad afterwards. And
yeah.
And,
well, I'm giving you a hard time. It's not as big of a deal.
But the stage was great, and you were fantastic, and it really is a great room, isn't it? It's
really
a bigger room.
It's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be a blessing to the community. And I mean, you are in what you do, but that's kind of been who you are. Even when I first met you, you've been such a people person.
Yeah.
You get to use that every day, right?
Absolutely.
In what you do now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like different venues, but same heart, same vision, same yeah. It's the same.
Yeah.
So,
to me, it doesn't change.
Yeah.
I think if I don't focus on people, it gets extremely not only boring, but it's not as valuable.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as you place things with, I'm more for this and the service of people, it doesn't.
Where do you think you got that? From a parent? Were you born with it? Where do you think?
No,
it came
I
from?
honestly think
Did
it
you work
came
on
from
it?
the understanding of knowing my faith better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I came to faith and I became a Christian, I think that's when that value was really placed in me that was never there before. I mean, before then it was like, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to win.
Yep, that's right.
I'm going to survive. I'm going to be better than you. I'm going to whatever. So
More competitive.
you flipped that completely upside down.
That's incredible.
In faith. Yeah.
What's
it shows?
What's the worst or hardest part about being in real estate?
The worst part?
Yeah.
I think it's about, for whatever reason, it's a very twisted industry by itself because you have it's a very commodity-based business,
right.
but it includes people. So usually commodities are things or usually things more than people. But in real estate, there's this misconception about, and maybe we've done it to ourselves as an industry for a long time, but I've been trying to figure it out. Why is it that everybody feels like it's not a big deal? Like, to me, it's ludicrous to think that it's not a big deal doing some research and really knowing who you're going to go with in real estate when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table.
Yeah.
It's not like if I would go, I'm going to go with, Bob instead of Sarah because, Bob, we just kind of want to be nice to him and you buy a $50 TV from him or a vacuum cleaner or whatever. And, Sarah, we don't know that well, whatever. You could literally make that scenario a relational, personal one.
Yeah.
But to say, I'm going to use this agent, they're all kind of the same and do the same thing, blah, 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 blah. But then, I can write stories of these. I can write a blog about stories where people just go in and say, I'm going to go with my friend so-and-so, do the real estate thing. And then lo and behold, they come to us and they think it's a winning success story. And we're like, you probably left $15,000 to $20,000 on the table.
Right.
And they're like, what?
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, when does anybody write a check to $15,000 and throw it and it's
exactly.
just to give it away? No one does.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the roughest part about it is that there's not as when you go to an attorney, you don't go to a real estate attorney because you had a car accident.
Right.
You're going to go find the best car accident attorney you can.
Right.
If you're going to,
and that's how you guys operate. We've been talking about that specialist, but I'd love to hear your take on that rather than just what we've been saying.
Well, our
takes, you operate as specialists.
Yep.
Not generalists.
Yeah, so if we talk about brokerages, right, the industry, the way it works right now, and I'll keep it short if I can, but the way it works is brokerages work on volume. So if I'm a broker or owner of a company, I hire in masses because I get a split or a percentage or whatever of all the business of those agents.
Gotcha.
The problem with that is we feel like it's twofold. One, it's a business model based on volume more than, again, the service of people. And two, it's hard for an agent to feel like I'm going against 200 other agents in my same office for the same business. I'm just trying to sell the same house. I'm trying to get the same business away from the person that wears the same badge.
Does the motivation change too? It sounds to me like you got to hit your sales numbers and your goals, and you got to, that would be the motivation in that case. Sure, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You want to hit your figures and stuff, but it would seem that if you're specializing, you're sort of your motivation is to help somebody.
Yeah, well, and the way it works is so our brokerage works in the specializing, meaning we're probably not going to be any bigger than 15 agents. And every agent, so when you walk in through the door of Prescott Realty, not only are we reputable, we've been around for a while, we kind of know what we're doing in these markets, you can come in and rest assured and be completely confident that the person that's going to handle your transaction only works those transactions. They
Right.
only their expertise and their knowledge only comes in those transactions. Real estate's so multifaceted, it's overwhelming. But you can have an agent at any other brokerage that could be like, yeah, sure, I can sell your house. Sure, I'll put you in my car this weekend and see houses. Sure, I can list your apartments. Sure, maybe we can do a lease agreement. Sure, whatever.
Right.
But none of us as consumers in this world have any confidence or feel secure if we go to a foot doctor for a cardiac surgery.
Right. Well,
But that's essentially what's happening in real estate now.
Yeah.
It's where it's kind of like you're the same, and I'll just pick whoever. But like
it is interesting. Isn't it?
It is very interesting how it works. We don't do it normally. So.
And you use the example. I'm not going to go to a heart surgeon for a foot problem.
Yeah.
But take it a step further. If you've got a foot problem, you're not going to go to any foot doctor because we are not driven that way.
No.
Americans, we're competitive. We want the best.
Yeah. We
so
want to work with the best.
We're going to forget the heart surgeon for the foot problem. We're going to go to a foot doctor, but we're not going to just say, "Oh, here's a page of foot doctors. Let me put my finger down."
Mini, mo. Yeah.
You're going to ask people, and how many malpractice suits has he done? Is he a good person? Is he too old to perform? Surgery? Is his hand steady?
Yep.
You're going to do all of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you
and
guys...
then that doesn't happen in real estate,
Right?
Who's got the most colorful sign?
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever, or the prettiest face, you know?
In Prescott Realty, do you guys choose, which of these areas of specialty you want to focus in? Is it kind of based more on gifting, or I really enjoy this part, or obviously there's probably some times where it's like, okay, here's a need, we just gotta.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it started that way with the company. I think now Richard, partner of ours, Richard does. He's been out in Williamson Valley selling lots, custom home sites and stuff like that for forever.
Yeah,
and so he knows every lot out there.
Yep.
He knows which views are obscured, which ones aren't, blah blah blah. So we do everything based off strengths.
Yeah.
Not only on what our knowledge and expertise is and how we grow in that, but also how we best serve people and our personalities and in our values. So Richard does that. Lorinda does all listings. So right now she sells every existing house and she represents buyers. Now we're trying to hire a listing agent to take that from her so she can just focus on the buyers because she's phenomenal. I mean, she can have people in her car every single day and feel like finding the dream home for you is my one sole job. And so, I can go on and on, but yes, we pretty much, based on personality and based on experience, is who we want on the team to specialize in that facet. And if we don't find them, we don't fill it. We really don't. So I'm not, even now, if someone calls me and says, hey, I have a commercial property, I have 6 units, I rent them out, whatever, I would refer them out because we're not going to fill a position for the sake of just having all these, quote unquote specialized areas until we actually truly can have 100% confidence in the agent that's representing our clients in that specialty area.
Yeah, that's
so, and we're working
really
slowly
cool.
to fill and make sure that it's a one-stop shop. You can come to us and say, hey, this is what I'm planning to do. This is my property type, whatever, and we'll pair you up with the best candidate, the best agent we have under our roof. But until then, we'll be very, very, very picky.
Well, yeah, I love that though, because that helped us out. I mean, for Anna and I, you sold our house, and then Lorinda helped us find the house that we were moving into, and it was huge. And you were patient with us because we were on the fence about selling. You came and did a whole lot of work, and then we made the call to wait or hold off.
You even did some remodel too, a little bit based
and then
on our.
Right. And then you guys came back, and when it was, it has to sit right on both. I mean, the market plus the people involved have to feel good about it. And you guys were so gracious on both ends and got top dollar for our house and helped us find, honestly, like what's a dream home for us. So it's been
awesome.
Super, super cool.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if you could define long-winded as hypostatic volcanic cracker. But did it sound just then like he was inhaling a little too much volcanic ash when he was setting that question up? Huh? And that's the Ronnie and Bo word of the day, brought to you by signalsaz.com.
Pneumano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
That's pretty impressive.
There you go.
Man.
You're off the hot seat. You don't have to. You don't have to work it in.
I'm not going to be. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question. You guys have enough tension between both of you.
Do you have any horror stories in real estate so far that you can share? Because I know you're gonna be professional.
No, for
but
sure.
Beside the one that you showed me, and the toilet bowl was open, and there was a guy with a needle in his arm and sleeping. Besides that house over there behind 6th Street.
Yes, I do remember that. That was,
because we were kind of looking for a potential studio.
Another studio
just a
building.
place to kind of...
man cave
demo.
We were looking to buy
remodel.
but what was it? I don't know. It doesn't matter to rehash it. But we were looking to buy like a 1,200 square foot little home to go put a pool table in it, make it our man cave, make it our broadcast.
John gave us
media
tetanus
central.
shots before we walked in. And,
we got immunizations. I don't know, Ron. There's a lot of them. So I don't know if I can necessarily pick one, but I think the topic of them typically, though, to be honest with you, is either it's horror stories like people in real estate for whatever reason are become they try to hide a lot of things. So I think some of the biggest ones I could probably say is where like we're dealing with someone that's not really even a someone kind of deal, or it's kind of like a like maybe they shoot the breed, or they kind of just they're just blowing smoke for ungodly amount of time on deals, and then and those are the worst only because you can't control people's
you don't know what the motives
attitudes, motives, decisions, or anything like that, but then it makes everyone look foolish. So that's tough. So when people lie to you, I think that's the main ingredient for horror stories. Is just pretty much just straight up lying.
Speaking of lying, we play a game here on the Ronnie and Bo Show.
Okay.
Occasionally, we play a game called Two Truths and a Lie.
Alrighty.
And the difference between your example and these two truths and a lie, when we figure out which one's a lie, none of us look foolish. So that's good
perfect.
in this particular case.
That sounds fun.
So would you be interested in? Can we play Two Truths and a Lie with Jon Rocha?
I would love that. All right. So 3 statements. Okay. 2 of them are true. One of them's a lie, and you're gonna try to stump us.
Okay.
You won't stump me, but you'll try to stump him.
Okay. We'll see.
Very intuitive.
Yeah.
You are.
All right. So just give us a statement.
Ready?
Make a statement.
Okay. So I went to.
See, he's already lying and laughing. He's already smiling, laughing. This one's a lie. Go ahead.
Bo, I'm gonna own you on this one.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I made the semifinal rounds of auditions for Broadway's Lion King for Simba.
You sort of look like Simba, so that might not be a lie.
I can see it.
Thank you, Bo. Let's see. I have my helicopter's pilot's license.
We already know that one.
I was involved in a drive-by shooting.
Oh, wait a minute, John. Wait a minute, John.
I actually
wait a minute,
don't.
John.
This all could work.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
His age could work for Lion King if he took over Jonathan Taylor Thomas's role. And here's the thing. Oh, he said Broadway though, so singing.
No, but here's the thing. He intentionally messed that one up to make it look like a lie. I was in the semifinal. I was.
Oh, that was intentional.
He's doing that. He's
okay.
Pretty much what I'm doing is I'm going head to head to you right now, bro. Okay, you call it intuitive and Mr. Let's see it now.
Okay, so that one he wanted to make it seem like a lie.
Okay, all right.
He did mention that he attended Embry-Riddle.
And so
we don't know. We don't know if he graduated. If he graduated, that's fine. He could have been in a helicopter, crashed the helicopter, and been asked to leave Embry-Riddle. Yeah. So we don't know that. And see, Ron always gets mad at me because I'm trying to figure it out.
So much over-analysis.
And then the third one, I have had conversations with John about his previous what do you want to say, residences or whatever. He told me in the past that he grew up in some parts a rough neighborhood in East LA. So that could be sort of
this may be our
this might be the toughest one.
Yeah.
2 truths and a lie yet. Is Jon Rocha going to stump us?
Or maybe,
Let's hear it, Bo.
Maybe about 17 minutes ago he brought up the Embry-Riddle thing.
I know.
Just to throw us off from this down the road.
And his childhood upbringing. He also mentioned that. See, this is masterclass.
It did.
But I'm going to get it. Give me 15 more minutes and I'll get it.
How about 1 minute? I mean, is there a time limit on this?
Hold on.
Okay, while we're thinking, I need a minute to think.
And he's on the stage.
But last thing, I know, before while we're thinking, I just have one more question with regard to, I want to know how the market is right now.
Sure.
Is this a good time?
Yeah.
Should we hang on?
It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
As far as homes values appreciating, there's people that have bought really, really high back 2007, 2008 that maybe they can finally see that come back enough to either call it a wash, move on with their life, get out of their mortgage. So those have been happy stories. The problem so far, if I would use one word, it's affordability.
Yeah.
We have a very, very big issue with affordability in the country.
Yeah.
And so far, and I'm a nerd, I read a lot of stuff about this, but as of I'd say last quarter, there has been a big cooling off on larger markets like California, New York, San Francisco, Phoenix, Washington, stuff like that. Or Seattle, sorry. And when that tends to happen, we're always about a year behind. Okay. So even now, it's been fair enough to say that prices have gotten to a point where buyers are just not willing to pull the trigger because of interest rates going higher. And it seems like they know that maybe it's going to slow down enough to have opportunity down the road.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, it's still technically right now a seller's market because we don't have a lot of inventory. So if you're a buyer shopping really in any kind of price range, you're not going to have as many options as you think. So that places power on the seller side. On being able to, push a little more on price. Yeah. So prices are going to cool off. Interest rates are still going to go up. Yeah. So affordability is still going to be, builders right now are essentially the saving grace of the market because the more they can build and put their product out to market, the better it's going to equalize to some extent and then make it a normal market because it hasn't been a normal market for about 3 years now.
Yeah. So if people are thinking about buying or selling,
I'm thinking right now while I'm listening.
Okay, keep thinking,
was
Bo.
he Simba or was he in a drive-by?
Yeah. That's a nice combo.
Maybe it was Halloween. He was dressed as Simba, and they said, "Oh, let's shoot that lion."
Yeah.
He was in a drive-by. No, I don't know.
If people are,
I'm almost.
Okay, I'll just let you figure this out over here on your end over here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if people want, it's important now more than ever, and it always is. But real estate's always shifting. It's either getting more of a seller's market, less of a seller's market. It's equalized. There's an affordability issue, whatever. But in all stages, in whatever market you find yourself, again, kind of talking back to what we talked about earlier, just make the call. I mean, just make the call because it's so subjective. I mean, it could be like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. We're going to move out of state, or we're coming into the state from out of state. This is what our transaction looks in our another state. We're going to have this much money. What can we shop for? But we want to put some in retirement. But we want, it's almost, you can't give one answer to the masses. It's going to be all, and mostly everything we're sharing is not in any way forcing you to make anything of the market if it doesn't make sense to you.
You
come to us and you tell us what's important to you in this season of life. Either you're getting you're buying your first house, or you're leaving California, and you're selling a house there, and you want to put some money in the bank, but you want to get bang for your buck out here. And now more than ever, it's when you are already facing a seller's market, you need to really have a good buyer agent. I mean, the buyer agent really needs to be able to look you in the eye and say, this is actually a really good deal, and this is why.
Right.
And there's a lot of trust in that. I get that, but again, that's kind of what it's just every case is different.
That's cool. Well, so PrescottRealty.com. This is Jon Rocha we're talking to. You can call for a no-commitment free consultation, 928-499-8700. Email them to info@PrescottRealty.com. 2 offices they've got, one downtown Prescott, one Williamson Valley, and their specialists will take such good care of you, as will Prescott Tire Pros.
Yep, Prescott Tire Pros,
Automotive Service.
Angel Gomez.
They're right across from Waters Garden Center and in Prescott there on Iron Springs Road. Go to PrescottTirePros.com. You can even make your appointment online. So Automotive Service, new tires, you need a fender bender maybe fixed. You can give them a call, 928-776-0205.
So this is very hard for me because we're trying to let John talk about his business, and it's very disruptive if he's trying to say, well, I appreciate it, Ron, and this is why the reason you need to call me, and these are some of the advantages of dealing with Prescott Realty, and then I blurt out, he has no visible tattoos, so I don't know if he was in a drive-by. It doesn't do good for his business.
It doesn't.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Do you have a guess? We've had plenty of time
I've got a guess. I've got a guess. So let me see if I got this right. The statements were, you've flown a helicopter. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Helicopter license, right?
What do you mean?
Did I get the statement accurate, or was there more to that statement?
Yeah, that I have a helicopter's pilot's license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that he flew.
Meaning I was qualified. Yeah, I've qualified enough to get a license from it.
Helicopter license. He was involved in a drive-by.
Shooting.
Perhaps, I don't know if these were his words, a shooting, perhaps gang-related. Those are my words.
Yeah.
And then the other one, he wears a pink tutu at night when his kids go to bed.
No.
He didn't say that wasn't one of them?
No.
What was the other one?
No.
He was in a semifinals or finals
Broadway.
trying out for, I don't know if he said
Lion
Broadway,
King.
but Lion King. It could be at the
yeah.
Pantages or Broadway. Are you saying Broadway, New York?
I'm saying the Broadway musical, yeah.
Oh, the Broadway musical.
Okay.
So it could be at the Pantages in Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
or it could be at like the kids' theater and
that's right. That's
Whittier.
right. So I've got my guess.
Yeah. Okay.
You want me to say it?
Yeah, you go.
Get it over with?
Yeah.
He was not. The lie is he was not involved in a drive-by shooting, even though at times of his life he I don't know specifically, but he has told me that he's lived in East L.A. and some rough areas in the eastern part of Los Angeles. That is the lie. He was not involved in that because.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Lion King.
Okay,
the lie.
He was never close to a finalist.
If it is, I think it's some sort of the Whittier Children's House.
Playhouse?
Yeah.
But so you're saying he wasn't a finalist to get the Simba part in the Broadway adaptation of a. Okay, so that's it. So what is it?
All right, so you're both wrong.
Anyway.
So the lie is that I have a fixed wing pilot's license, not a helicopter license.
Oh no way.
Yeah, because I knew you guys would not touch that one because of Embry Riddle, but that was a lie.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the drive-by shooting was at a liquor store down in East Los Angeles where me and a buddy that I grew up with, which actually unfortunately died because he never got out of the gang scene. And just to be clear,
later,
I was not
shooting.
I was not part of the shooting vehicle.
Good.
But it was a really rough neighborhood. My mom had friends there. We would go almost every weekend, have barbecues and stuff like that. But anyways, on a day where we, a very normal day, would go to a corner liquor store, get some hot Cheetos, some Snickers, some
chips
stuff like that.
Snacks,
we literally
were sprayed.
Yep, the liquor store. They were shooting, which they did kill a few gang members on the corner standing there at the liquor store. And I just remember the clerk yelling at us and telling us to get on the floor. And all we heard was just spraying of bullets for like what felt
How old were you?
5 minutes. I was 11.
Oh man, that's scary. That's Brody's age. Oof.
Yeah.
And then the Disney deal.
The Disney deal's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I had a teacher. I guess I was charismatic enough for him to be his favorite student of all times, and he had ties in with the people in qualifying or doing the tryouts for the Lion King.
Yeah.
And he literally just out of nowhere came up to me one day and my mom at a conference, like at a parent-teacher conference, and said, "Hey, he's super charismatic. He's like literally breaks out in song and did whatever. And I have friends doing this and that, and I would love for you to take him to try out for this part."
Where was
it? And my mom was like in Los Angeles, and my mom was like, "What, is this for real?" And here's the heartbreaking part. I literally went through. My gosh, it started with like 50. And it was funny because we all looked alike.
Yeah,
brown skin, small, little, just like singing all these songs and parts. I go to the there was literally like 6 people left to go to the finals, and then the finals would go to New York, and then they would pick out 2. They would pick out from 2 to be Simba for the Lion King. And my mom got so overwhelmed to think that our lives would change. It was a single mom. And she wasn't ready to explore what it would take for her child to be in a play in Broadway. And so even though semifinals seemed so close, but it was 6 of us, but they had then the finals would be picking out of 2 in New York and performing the whole bit. But that was the most heartbreaking thing for me because I already thought I didn't know if I was gonna take it, but just to walk on from a teacher's recommendation that had some kind of in with the main honchos of doing the tryouts was amazing to me.
It's incredible.
And but my mom, even till this day, if I bring it up, she'll cry because she made it more about just her not feeling like she could ever hang with a child of hers at
wow.
at such a young age to be doing the Lion
So
King
it still affects her.
Broadway show.
Still affects her. Your mom.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Does
yeah.
she regret that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, that's too
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because I think at the time it's more survival. You're a single mom, and
Sure.
you're just like, how do I? And it's expensive. I mean, at some point
sure.
too, you don't have the gig, but you got to go to New York,
right.
still do a final.
How do you get a plane
final
ticket?
tryout,
You gotta
whatever.
get clothes.
And for her, I think it was overwhelming.
Oh,
So yeah, to this
man.
day, if we ever comes up, or even a friend brings it
You
up,
can't
or
even
something
watch
like
the
that.
movie and without crying.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure she would cry her eyes out
Oh,
for it. But
man.
yeah, but that's true.
I'm going to call you Simba from now on. That's too good.
awesome.
That's too good. Well, Jon Rocha of Prescott Realty, gosh, we can't even thank you enough just for being the first and
it's
just
really
such a
important
loyal
to us.
sponsor of the show and for
Absolutely.
what you guys do. And it's so easy. It's so nice to be able to not even have to think about recommending people to you guys
That's
because you
awesome.
do such good
you.
work. And so thanks for taking the time today. I've only got one thing to say.
What do you have to say?
Numano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Thanks for listening to the Ronnie and Bo Show, available on your favorite podcast provider. Please connect with the Ronnie and Bo Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and RonnieandBoShow.com. Send comments to RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com. This is your announcer speaking. I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly.